What's good with you? Peace and blessings to the good energy people. Thank you for chiming in. We are about to go on in a few minutes. Please do me the favor, if you can, share the page, like the page. You know I got my girl with me, Jay Allen. Much love and respect. Say hi, Jay.
Hey.
You can go over to YouTube if you like, please. You can go over to YouTube as well. YouTube is David Adams Podcast on YouTube. Please press subscribe over there. Thank you. Once again, do me the favor, like, share the page. Appreciate it so much. We're going to get into this topic. It's a very difficult topic. We all got to go through this. So you can always chime in if you can. If you would like to chime in on this subject, you can. Whatever advice, whatever analogy or perspective you have to add to what we are going to be talking about, you can, which is how to process the loss of a loved one. We're going to go through maybe a few spectrums of this topic, so you can help us out. Thank you. Much love and respect. Thank you. Thank you for sharing if you shared. Thank you for liking if you liked. We appreciate it. Peace and blessings. What's good? What's good? Peace. So y'all do me that favor. Y'all do me that favor and go ahead over there and like the page. Don't be mean. Just go ahead and like it at least so we can get some algorithm going. I appreciate it. Yeah. What's good with you, Jay? Miss J. Pastor Allen.
I'm good.
You good?
Life is good.
That's what's good. Life is lifing.
Life is life.
No doubt,
sure.
no doubt. Appreciate y'all. So we're going to just wait for a few seconds. I'm going to ask Jay about her day.
This is my third stop on the day.
Your third stop?
I'm tired. Yeah,
Really?
It's my third
Wow.
stop.
I'm
tired.
This is my third too. I went to
Yeah.
the shop.
Okay.
And it's my birthday too, by the way.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Much love. It's my birthday. I went to the shop early this morning.
Right.
I'm talking 7, something like that.
Okay.
And then I did some other stuff. I did some recording after that for about 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
And then I'm here. So, third stop.
Yeah, it's my third stop.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's my final stop too.
I know that's right. After that, it's home?
I ain't doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that's right. I know that's right. What's good with you? What's good with your blessings? Blessings. Thank those 2 people who shared the page. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Very much appreciated. Real talk. So the topic is going to be, you have already seen it, and it is going to be, what's the process? How do you process the loss of a loved one? I think we all got to experience it. We all going to experience it, no matter what. You can say, you know, oh, I'm strong in that spot. I'm strong in that spot. You know, we all say we're strong in a lot of different things. Death is definitely a part of life that, it's tricky, man. It's tricky. I've experienced it. You've experienced it.
Yeah.
What can you give a person that may not be that strong in dealing with death? Because I know that you have to have some type of spirituality and balance in dealing with it. What do you say to those that may not have that balance, right? And they are not as strong as others. What do you say to people who may take death? I mean,
So the first thing that I think we have to be careful about is putting the tag strong on
right?
it.
Got you.
Because the biggest misconception is that if I'm crying, that means I'm not strong. And so a lot of us are trying to be strong in that we're not going through the motions and we're not going through the feelings and we're not going through the emotions because we're trying to appear to be strong. And what we do is we don't allow ourselves to grieve properly. So to put the connotation strong on it, I think is something that we as a culture have to stop doing to begin with.
Okay.
Because death, however close, however far, is a painful process, period.
Well, what I should say is this, you know, you're correct. I shouldn't say strong. I mean, there are some people that will do things that everybody's going to do something different. The result is different for everyone.
Right.
So I shouldn't say strong because that will make it seem like the other person may be weak. But it's just not, it's not just strong. It's just that it's painful. So being painful, some people
have a high tolerance.
That's okay. That's a good way of putting it.
Right.
Because some people, I'm gonna keep it real.
Right.
Some people can jump off the roof.
Right. Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
And some people have destroyed themselves that way just because they lost someone.
And they did not know how to process.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the first thing is being honest about what you feel.
Okay.
Our culture is so bad with expressing our feelings, and I want to say men more in particular than women, because boys are taught you don't cry, you don't show emotion, you don't do this and you don't do that. And so I think that men are already starting off the journey behind the ball.
I got you.
Because they're not taught that feeling is a natural process of being a man. So that's a whole different thing altogether. And so they have to be strong, whatever that looks like to them, masculinity. I'm not crying.
Right.
I don't feel no kind of way. It ain't bothering me. It's whatever. And they're dying inside because they don't know what to do with those things that they can't express that they feel. So we have depression. We have anxiety. We have rage. A lot of the things that are plaguing our community is the result of unexpressed feelings.
Facts.
Or misplaced feelings. Or not knowing to say, I feel depressed. or not knowing to say I feel anxiety, not knowing to say I'm mad, I'm angry,
Yeah.
that hurt my feelings. Like that is a conversation that is taboo with our black men. And I want to be very clear.
Facts.
Not everybody, but for certain, our black men do not have the freedom to express their feelings. And so God forbid something happens to someone close to them. Now that's a whole nother emotion that's on top of them.
Facts.
That is very present in their reality, is very present in their body, very present in their heart, very present in their spirit, and they don't have a place to express it. So it shows up in a whole lot of other ways.
Facts. I definitely agree.
So
Great
I feel
way
like
of explaining
communicating, you know, saying that I'm sad. I mean, however elaborate your language is,
Right.
and however
You can express it,
minuscule
yeah.
your language is, I'm sad.
Right.
You know, that hurts.
Yeah.
You know, that's a start. You know, how do you, we as women need to practice, how do you feel? Asking our men, how do you feel? Like one of the
Facts.
things that I'm learning is that their life is very different than our life. Your life as a man is very different than my life as a
Facts.
woman, because the things that you face, not that I don't face anything, but there are a whole lot of other things against you that are not against me. There are a whole lot of things that are more lenient to me that are not to you. And we have to be a little bit more present and a little bit more understanding than that. And if we create the safe space for them to be able to say, listen, I lost somebody and I'm feeling some kind of way about it. Do you have a second to listen? Not to put your feelings on them.
Right,
Not
right.
to judge them for what they're
So
feeling.
basically what you're saying is woman's supposed to be a peace, safe place or a safe space for a man.
That is not where this conversation. The answer to your question is yes.
Yes, all right.
By nature, we are nurturers,
Right,
okay? By
facts.
nature, we nurture.
Right.
And so, yes, we should be a safe space, at least if to nobody else, to our own men,
Right.
to our own sons, to our own, you know,
Right.
I mean, we can't take on the whole community,
Of course not,
but to
yeah.
those that are within close proximity to us, yes, we should.
No doubt. Great way of explaining that. Definitely. Great way of explaining that. And I do agree that it's definitely a taboo to show pain,
Yeah.
to show weakness.
Yeah. What is weakness? Yeah.
Well, that's what men.
Right.
Men believe, you know, some men that's not emotionally
I agree
intelligent.
With you. No. I
You know what I
agree
mean?
with you,
Yeah.
but it's the stigmas that are attached to the
Right.
words. Weakness,
Right.
you know, strength. I
Right.
tell people all the time, strength is overrated.
That's definitely overrated.
It is overrated.
Facts.
Because when you're strong and people can perceive you as strong, they don't think you have feelings.
Right. That's a fact.
They don't think that anything, but you can't be depressed because you're strong.
Right.
It's really weird.
That's
It's
definitely weird. That's definitely weird. So, you know, yeah, some men definitely feel like women have no problem with crying. Women have no problem. Some,
Some of them.
but most women, they don't have no problem with crying. Some men have a problem with crying.
I can't say that because I know a lot of women that have a problem with crying.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
I think that processing emotions is a process.
It's a process.
And I also think that you have to be taught to do that. Because as a woman, if you're in survival mode, crying is not happening. If I am crying, I promise you it's in the shower or it's in a place where nobody can see. So I feel like the same stigmas that are attached to men are also attached to women, but in a very different dynamic.
Different way. Got you. Okay. Good point. Yeah, because, you know, it's death is hard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that I lost my son, and this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about this. You know, I really don't. Well, I don't have a problem with, you know, expressing my feelings. For one, I have no problem. I remember I went to Jay's church once, and I'm sitting in the audience, and they were, you know, the pastor was deep. She was going in. She was, you know, bringing it. All right, and she basically was, you know, talking about certain things and stuff like that. You know, she was calling people up and going out to grab people to bring them up and stand them up and things like that. Man, if you could see my face,
Word.
I was so in pain, emotional,
Yeah.
all kind of stuff. And I'm like, yo, don't come over here right now. And I know Jay look. She said she looked at me. I had that look. Don't do this right now, yo. Man. I mean, yeah. So that was crazy.
Word.
That was it was a very emotional time. You know what I mean? At that time, hearing the pastor teach and all that, you know. And man, hey, listen, man, I was done. Inside, I was boiling. Yeah. You understand? So yeah, but I don't have a problem with crying. But I think losing a child is, I know people say it's pain. Death is pain everywhere, all around. I don't know.
Hit different.
I think that hit real different.
There's some pain that you can't imagine. Yeah. And I think that at some point it also can be very unexplainable.
Yeah.
I haven't lost a child. However, I lost a brother who our age difference is like 13, 14 years.
Right.
And so he was like my baby, my first baby. And it was violent and it was sudden and it was just awful. It was awful. And I was very present on social media at the time. I was going live every day. And so I didn't get the chance to be like, you know what, I'm going to take a break because y'all were watching me in real time. So in real time, I had to process. And it was so much stuff going on. And then when it came time for the funeral, it was just so much stuff going on. And the one thing I remember saying to God, first of all, I went to see the body at the hospital. The pain is just like, it was just like, there were no words. I really didn't say too much, but it was awful. Like the pain, I can't even, I don't know. I've had 2 children naturally, and this ain't that. Like this is something different, you know, because you know, when you have children, the wound will heal. You know what I mean? It's only going to be sore for a certain period of time, but this thing here was different. There was no word, you know, and you have those people like, I'm so sorry for your loss. Right? Yeah. You know, I'm sending my condolences. And while I think that is something that we say as a conversation filler. Right. Right?
Of not knowing what to say.
Right. It's the nice thing to do to let you know that I'm sharing with you in this grief. But the problem is you're not really sharing in the pain of this grief. If you haven't experienced it at this level, you don't understand it, right? So like, I know what you're feeling. No, you don't, sis. Like, stop saying that. Like, I appreciate, you know what I mean? And I want to preference the conversation by saying I'm speaking from a person who has sat on that side, and you know, people are like, oh my goodness, you know, I'm so sorry for what you're going through, and I'm sharing it. No, you're not. And even if you had lost a sibling, or even if you had lost a mother or a father or whatever it is, you don't know where I am in this space in my life. You know what I mean? So like, I think that the great thing to say, or probably the greatest thing to say, is I'm praying for you. If there is anything that I could do for you, if I could be of any service to you, please don't hesitate to reach out. But then when I reach out, make sure you do what you said you was going to do. You know, it's all, I think a lot of people just know that that's what you're supposed to say, but who says that? So he and I had a conversation 3 weeks ago. He had reached out to me and asked me if I could pray for a family member of his. And I asked him what was the situation. I had already said sure, but what exactly am I praying for? And he told me, you know, fine. And I want to say the next day, or maybe 2 days later, he reached back to me and said, you know, he passed away. And I initially said, I love that for him. Then I had to catch myself and say, I don't really mean that the way it sounds. But then I did say it. I love that for him. And I had to explain, right? Because when a person is sick and a person is suffering, you know, yes, we are selfish people. So I want you here with me because I'm not ready to do life without you. I don't want to know what life is without you. I love the relationship that we have, or whatever. So it is more for me that I want you here. I never consider what you are going through in your sickness, the brave face that you are putting on for me, you know, the fact that you're trying to hold on because you know that I'm not ready to leave you, you know, that I'm not ready to live life without you. And so now you're enduring pain and you're enduring sadness and you're enduring all of these things for the sake of me. Nah, I love that for you, because now there's no more pain. I love that for you, because now there's no more sickness. Like, yes, I'm going to have to make an adjustment in my life and how to go on with life without you and go on with this void that's in my heart. But I love for you that the pain that you were in, you are no longer in. I love that for you.
Come on. I hear you. Teach. Yeah.
So that's how we got here today with this conversation, because that's my new space. I love that for you.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. If anybody want to call in, you can always call in and give your perspective on this situation. Malika, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum. Much love and respect. Thanks for chiming in. Chris says, so true. Kendi said, good evening. Hi, Pastor Jay. Kendi Love. Okay. So if you want to call in, you can call in. I'm going to put the number on the screen, and you can basically give us your analogy, how you feel about the situation, and, you know, give us how you've gone through it. What was your process? You know?
Grief is a journey.
Right.
Some days are good. Some days are not. I heard the most profound statement the other day. Regina King was on something, Good Day America or something, and she was sharing about the loss of her only son. And she said, grief is nothing but love with no place to go.
Wow.
And it hit me so hard.
Wow.
Grief is nothing but love that has no place to go.
I like that.
And when you think about it in hindsight, the sadness that is equating to grief, or that we are attributing grief to it, is really the love that we shared with our loved one, that now they're no longer here for us to pour it onto them. So it has no place to go. So it sits on us. It was so real for me and so impactful for me.
That's
I'm taking that, like, I'm gonna hold on to that, because it's so true. Grief is love that has no place to go.
Sheesh.
And so once you learn what to do with that love, once you learn how to rechannel or
redirect,
redistribute it, like you learn to give it in other places, you learn to do something else with it, your grief process will change.
Wow.
And so as I was on my way here, I really was thinking about that. Like, for example, my brother who was killed 3 years ago, his birthday is tomorrow.
Wow.
But this year, his death date was March the 6th. And as I was thinking about coming here and having this conversation, I thought about that particular statement. I actually screenshotted it so I could keep it very present in my mind. And I thought about it, and I'm like, it's true. When you find something to do with that love, right? Not that you're trying to replace it, but when you find someplace else for it to go, it changes the grief process. Not that I don't miss him, not that I'm not in any pain, like, not that, but I have a new purpose. Like, it's been repurposed. Thank you, Lord. It's been repurposed. That love that was just sitting in a place, collecting, because the more I think about it, the more the love grows, right? The more I dwell on it, the more the love grows, right? The more I look at the pictures, the more I go through the memories, the love is still. So until I find a repurpose for that love, that is where the grief is. That is where it sits on me, until I find a place to intentionally repurpose it.
You better
because you have to be intentional about it's a choice.
It's definitely a choice, right?
Right? Facts. Some people don't choose to move on. They choose to sit in this place like, woe is me, whatever. And I'm to each his own. I'm not saying anything about anything, but you know, it is what it is.
Right.
And I feel like once you repurpose it, once you find a place for it, and you repurpose that love, it changes the grief process.
Yeah,
100%.
Very good analogy. Very good analogy. Well, I'm going to take a quick break real quick, right?
Okay.
Because I got to fix this box that's sitting in this camera, and it's just killing me. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back. So do me a favor, if you could, share, like the page, and think about what you want to bring to this conversation while we go on this quick, say, minute break. All right. Thank you so much. One, two. All right, we back, y'all. We back. Much love. We back. All right, we back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if you would like to state your comments, you can put your comments on the comment board, or better yet, you can go ahead and call in 973-433-5666. I would love to hear you.
Says,
go ahead.
She says, I had to isolate myself from everyone because I couldn't handle seeing others enjoying life, living, laughing, and loving. When my world was shattered, I dare that nobody sharing my grief, hurt, and emptiness that caused me an emotional breakdown. Every day is a struggle, but I'm processing it and coming to terms with all my lost loved ones in my life. Yeah, that goes back to expressing those feelings. Even if you don't feel like you have a safe place to share it with somebody, get a notebook and write and keep a journal. Write them notes and write them letters. I will never tell anybody that it gets easier. I don't know that it gets easier. However, you become a little bit better at how you handle it. And I think it goes back to, if you repurpose it, if you find someplace else to direct that love, like you give that love, because that's what it is. It's an overwhelmingness of the love that you had for the individual or the individuals. And it really has no place to go now. You can't pick up the phone and call them. You can't text them. You can't see them. So it's just there. Right. And when you give it another purpose, right? Maybe do something in their honor, or maybe, however you do, whatever it is that you're doing, sometimes it doesn't even have to be that. It could be a hobby that you pick up. It could be something else that you pick up along the way, but something to redirect the love to. That does not mean that you forget about them.
Of course not.
That does not mean that they don't exist anymore, but now you just find a more productive way to deal with those feelings instead of letting them collect in a place where it has nowhere to go.
Right. Great point, man. Great point. Great point. Yeah, I mean, as you're talking, I actually understand that, and I've experienced that in dealing with my son. It's like I had gained so much from this situation because, as you said, I took the love that I had for him, that I have for him, and redirected into something that we were going to do or was trying to do. It made me push on things that I would not have ever done it. So because of the love that I have for him, I don't know if this sounds weird or not, but it's made me stronger. Yeah. You know what I mean? It gave me so much strength within to even help others. Yeah. Not just myself, but to help others as well. You know what I mean? So some of the things that I wanted to do that I never got on board, Man, listen. Oh my God, I just went hard. You know what I mean? I started something in every year to give back in his name, in honor of him. I started something that, bringing the people together, in Abdul Hanif Wali's name every year. So Labor Day, if you're not doing anything, but those who may have experienced these experiences, you can come on out to Liberty Park. We're going to be there on the day before Labor Day. What is that? You guys need to come and enjoy yourselves that particular day at Liberty Park is going to be, okay? On a Sunday, that's going to be I want to say the 1st. Yeah, that's the 1st of September, okay? So y'all come down, and if you've experienced some of these situations and griefs and all that good stuff, I would love for you to be there and bring your families, and we're just going to have a good time in the name of losing someone or some people that we love. So I would love for y'all to come through on that. You know what I mean? We're going to do it, we're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. You know what I mean? In their name. Real talk. Yeah. I need y'all to be there on that. So I heard Kim say, okay, she isolated herself. And I think many people do that. Many people definitely do that. Isolate yourself. And one thing I think we all need when we go through something like this, we definitely need people around us, family around us, because that is a part of the process, correct? Having people around you, is a. But listen, hear me out, because some people do say things like they can deal with it better with themselves, and to the point.
Because I think that with people,
right,
you tend to
relive it,
be responsible for their feelings
at
too.
the same time. Come on.
So the natural inclination is to let me be by myself, but the danger in that is that you will become overwhelmed with those feelings. So the important thing is to surround yourself with the right kind of people.
Yeah.
The kind of people that will lift your spirits, not the kind of people that will will get down there with you, but for the purpose of pulling you out.
Come on.
Not for the purpose of letting you squander in that space, right?
Wallow in that mud.
So, yes, you're entitled to have your feelings, right? You're entitled to cry. And so I think that the whole isolation thing is because I don't want you to see me crying. I don't want you to see me hurting. I'm not coming to your event because I don't want to damper what's happening. My energy is not good, right? But the reality of it is that you by yourself probably won't be able to get your energy to be right, because in your mind you're justifying why it's okay for you to be in that space in the first place.
Come on,
and I'm not going to say that it's not okay to feel sad, because it is a natural emotion. That's why we have to be in touch with our feelings, so that I can tell you what I'm feeling. I feel anxiety. I don't, it's not sadness that I feel, it's anxiety. It's frustration, it's anger, and those are the emotions that you go through. I'm in denial. I don't want to acknowledge that my brother's gone. I don't want to acknowledge that my mother's gone. This must be a dream. I'm gonna wake up from it tomorrow, and everything like that is a real thing. That is something that actually happens. But you have to surround yourself with the right kind of people, because if not, death will mess you up.
Woo. Yeah.
You will isolate yourself and stay in isolation, and the whole world is going on with their life, and now you're frustrated with them because they not sad as you.
Yeah,
they lost somebody just like you, but it seemed like they moved on, so you didn't really love them the way you said you did. Because how you going on with your life like this, and I'm still
wow. That's a big wow.
Yeah, but that's real. That's real. Yeah. And because I've allowed myself to go so far down in a space that I can't pull myself out of. I dug myself in it, but I don't have to. What am I going to say? I feel like I lost a huge part of myself, so I don't want to live. And y'all looking at me crazy, but this is what happens. I don't want to live. They should have took me too. No.
Yeah.
While some things are unfortunate and are not seen and you don't see it coming, but you still here because you still have purpose. And so maybe the repurposing of your love is the acknowledgement of life still has to go on,
Right. I get it.
Doghouse.
Yep.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
We got a call. Sorry for cutting you off.
That's okay.
Thank you for that analogy, Jay. That was a very good analogy, and I really appreciate that. Who's there? Hello?
Kim. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, Kim, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, Kim?
Clearly. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Much love, Kim. Thank you for calling in.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I was just calling in because this is a very good topic that needs to be discussed. It's been an ongoing thing that I see like every time that we go on Facebook, we see a lot of death of family members, loved ones, schoolmates, and everything like that. But everybody, experience death differently on different levels. Whether it's a loved one, or a mother, a father, a brother, a sibling, a kid. Like there's no death that I can take myself to compare it to a pain that you might have felt for your son, or my sister might have felt for her stepmother, or any kind of comparisons at all. Everybody's going to experience it on their own and feel, the way they need to feel. Everybody has an opinion, which is okay, but there's no books or no definitions or anything else written down about how you're supposed to feel or how you're supposed to do this or how you're supposed to do that. The only thing we can do is be there for one another when needed, if asked, and give that person a chance to breathe and accept things, as it go. When I said I isolated myself, I did. I was angry. I was upset. I used to be a person that used to love and be around people, laugh, have a good time. But I didn't have anybody to laugh and have a good time with anymore. So I isolated myself because I didn't want that frustration or me to react to others with that frustration. But it's been 2 years and 2 months, and I'm starting to feel like I want to, start living again. Not living, I've been living, but letting him go in peace, letting all the loss of my brother, my mother in the past, let them all go in peace and not just, take over my mind, my way of thinking, my way of living, and just try life and living like without them and cherish the memories I do have.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. What made you feel like changing that? Because I remember you going through some of the things that you were going through. I remember, what made you say, I got to get out of this, Kim, so that you can maybe, so whoever else is maybe listening right now that may be where you were or deeper than where you were, what made you say enough is enough? Take your time. Take your time. Are you still here with me? Just say something. Kim? Kim, are you still here with me?
Yes.
Did you hear what I said?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What was the question again?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem. What made you say enough is enough? Where that place you were, and you was in it really deep. What can you give the person that might be listening right now? What was it that made you say, I can't stay in this space? What was that for you?
Okay, for me, I can only speak for my experience. I felt like I lost a part of me that I never thought about losing. I never knew that I would have to live life without that person. There's no book or anything like how to live without that person that you're used to living with or being around. So it caused me like a depression to see people like laughing and enjoying themselves, and I'm just like lost inside. I'm empty inside. I'm crying inside, and nobody seems to understand me. Nobody seems to share in my pain. So it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know what? I realized that myself, so I definitely can relate. The first few months, I kind of looked around and realized life is still going on, and like nobody know what the hell I'm feeling right now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so I definitely get what you're saying because yeah. You know, once you look around and be like, hold up, people still laughing and keep keying and they understand what the hell I just went through.
Right.
They know, but goddamn, they partying it. I'm like, hold up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely get it. What you got to say to that, Jay?
I agree. Life does go on, and it's very difficult to not become frustrated or angry at them because their life didn't stop. Like
You know,
my life
I wrote
stopped. My life put a pause, because I'm dealing with this and I'm looking around expecting other people to be paused just like me. And it don't really go like that.
Go ahead, Kim. What you was going to say? I'm sorry, Kim. Go ahead. Good point, Jay.
I'm saying like since this all has happened, it had took me from um mourning the death of that one, but that death caused me to go back into death that I never processed. I just kept going on with everyday life. I didn't let the emotions get to me and grieve the way I was supposed to back then. So when that grief came, that one time, it all came at me at once. It was like a building, like just falling down, everything just at once. That's why I said that caused like a emotional breakdown, and that was another thing. The reason like I isolated myself from that because it was a feeling I never felt before, and I didn't know how to control it. I didn't know how to express it, and and I'm not ashamed to say it. I have or receiving professional, you know, therapy, and I am on medication to control some of my like anxiety and depression, things, and it's okay. I'm not, embarrassed to say so.
That's right. I appreciate you saying that. I really appreciate you saying
that's
that.
big.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, no. That is one of the probably most recommended things. Therapy. Jesus and therapy, God and therapy, whoever in therapy. It's needed and it's necessary. It is one of the things that is so taboo in our culture, but we need that outlet because we are not properly taught how to deal with our feelings and emotions.
Facts. That's
So
a
I'm
fact.
proud of you that you are
I'm definitely proud of
seeking
you too.
help and you're getting therapy. And
Well,
if
thank
medication
you.
is a part of that process, let me say this: medication does not have to be for a lifetime. I took medication for a long time. I haven't been on medication in years, but it is a process, and it's not always so simple as it could be a chemical imbalance. Like there could be some things going on in your body that causes some of these things that you're experiencing. But get some help. Go talk to somebody.
That's right. Well, real talk. So I'm definitely proud of you, Kim.
I'm proud of you for that.
That's a very major step, and you are definitely going to be or is an example for many. Trust and believe that.
David,
Say it again.
before we leave,
Uh-huh.
hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said before I hang up, I like try to write my emotions down on paper because I'm not good with expressing them. So I just shared something through your feed, and I just want you to you both of you to read it, and just this is like how I was feeling about the whole situation when it came to different levels of death, and both of you how read it, how and just others this is like how like, I was feeling about the whole situation when it came to we're not like different levels of death. It's like better and how like I said, I'm good and just others like how like my emotions and situation.
I think I lost her.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you there? Oh, okay. I'm going to read it right now. It's on the comment board, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm going to check it right now. Let me look at it real quick.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And I just want your actual opinion on how you feel once you read it.
Okay.
What do you think?
Let me go check it out right now. You up there? You see it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jaylee, read it.
She said, I don't expect anyone to understand my journey from the beginning, the in-between, my love, my loss, my pain, my choices, my ups, my down, my thoughts in my life. We all have or will experience many of the same stages and phases that we think. We can compare ourselves with others and make assumptions about how she or he feels, how she or he deals with them. God created different sexes, different races with different faces, different regions, different types of people, rich people, poor people, little people, big people, healthy people, disabled people on purpose. It's not a coincidence when people meet people that have been on different paths in different places, but all share the same destination, home. I totally agree. I think that it is very insensitive to try to tell somebody else how they should feel or what they are feeling. Again, if you have not experienced it, then you really don't know. What it is you have empathy, or you feel sadness, or whatever the feeling that you think it is what you think you're sharing. And like I said in the beginning, even if you did lose a mother and somebody else has lost their mother, unless your relationship with your mother was exactly like theirs, you still don't know that pain.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, you still don't know it. Like, yes, I know the pain of losing somebody close to me, but I can't tell you that you know exactly what the pain feels like, because maybe the person that I lost to me wasn't what they were to you.
Come on.
So it's very dangerous to try to tell somebody how they should feel. The general consensus is you're sad. The general consensus is your heart is broken.
Right.
The general consensus is you're going to miss them. The general consensus is that you might feel depression. You might be angry. Why did it have to be my loved one? Why couldn't it be somebody? Like, that's the general consensus. But to say specifically what another person is feeling or thinking or how they are dealing is the biggest insensitive thing that you could do. And I think that we don't do it intentionally.
Nah.
I don't think that it's our intention to make you, to try to tell you how you should be. I can't tell you how you should be feeling, right? Because I might be looking at you and you might be smiling.
Facts.
And that just might be your way of dealing. You might be cracking jokes because you don't want to deal with the pain that you're feeling inside. You might turn to comedy, or you might turn to rage, or you might turn to the bottle. You might turn to pills. You might turn to something else. You might turn to bed hopping, whatever it is, because life affects us all different ways. Life sends us all into different, we spin out in different ways. So there is no real right or wrong way to do it. Just be true to it.
True to it.
Be honest with it.
No doubt.
Whatever it is that you're feeling, this is how I feel in this moment.
Right.
And forgive me if you can't, you don't understand it, or you can't deal with it, or it's too much. Forgive me if you think that I'm supposed to be this way and I'm not. And this is those of us who are in God, whatever your religious persuasion is, with death, there's a certain way they teach you to deal with death. In the Bible, it says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And I think that when you understand that, you shouldn't even be experiencing death like everybody else, because you understand that after this, they went somewhere else. I was telling Dave earlier today, I was thinking about how death and birth are the same kind of process. It takes you from one realm to another.
Hold on for a minute. Excuse me, not to cut you off. Kim, you still there, right?
Yes.
Thank you
Yes, I'm
for
here.
calling. I think I'm
you.
going to answer another call. Thank you so much for calling and engaging
say
in this
thank you.
conversation. You're
Thank you.
welcome. Anytime. Much love and respect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Peace. That was Kim. And I appreciate her honesty, her transparency. You can go ahead and continue, Jay. You was on to something and you was just
I was
dropping
saying
it.
how death and birth are places that take us from one realm to another. We go from the realm of the womb into life,
Right.
which is trauma. Right.
Facts.
Coming out of a place that we've been secluded in, a place that we've been incubated in,
Comfortable.
we've been fed,
And
we're
comfortable.
extremely comfortable
Right.
until we're uncomfortable, which
Right.
is the point that pushes us out
Right.
into the world where now we have to figure
Right.
out and do everything for ourselves.
Hold that thought. Hello.
White.
Into life, which into the world where now we have
Hello.
to figure out and do everything.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Who's this?
Good evening, Mr. Adams.
Okay. Who's this? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Make sure you cut your volume down, okay?
Hello. All right, I'm gonna cut it down right now.
Now, do me a favor also.
Hold on.
After I speak, wait about 5 seconds because there is a lag and you can speak after that, okay?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
All right, who's calling?
This is Jaquetta White from South Carolina.
Okay, how are you, Jaquetta? What's good with you? Much love and respect. South Carolina in the house. Thank you for chiming in. Much love. So what do you say, what do you have for this particular topic?
Well, for once, I would like to tap on what you had said earlier about your son when he passed, about what you do to honor him. So when you do, I said that to say this. I was married to my husband for going on 52 years, and we moved to South Carolina on July 4th in 2003. And he passed on July 4th, 2022. And
Wow.
it was 12 of my grandbabies out of 24 here. And we sat around, we talked, and we discussed, and we was like, yo, what we going to do from now on for 4th of July? Because he passed early that morning on 4th of July. They was like, well, guess what? They all got together, and they came up with, we're going to celebrate the 4th of July no more. What we're going to celebrate now from now on is Granddaddy's Day.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's up.
We did that year because he only passed.
Listen to what Jay said. What is that, Jay?
That is repurposing the love.
Facts. That's what's up. So that's a blessing.
Yes. What they did was they did it for that the night he passed, so the 4th of July that day. We sat around and talked and discussed, and they had their first 4th of July memorial this last year, and they're going to continue it. So now they're all getting together because it's 24 of them to discuss what they want to do for the memorial for this year. And what we did was we ended in there in the evening. For the grown people, we celebrate my anniversary because that would have been my 52nd anniversary that we missed because it's July 8th and it was shy of 3 days when he passed.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful, man. I'm proud of you and the family. To them,
Yeah,
24.
big.
24,
Yeah,
huh? That's
24
big.
grandkids. That's
big.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
huge.
a blessing. Thank you for that call.
Yeah.
And that's given us and those who may experience it are experiencing it now and those who on their way into experiencing it. She gave a great example of what to do, as Jay was saying, redirecting or making that love pushed in some another direction, so you can remember the person that left. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you so much.
So I want to address
Yes,
this
I'm gonna
comment. Teresa Terry Jones said, their emotional process of grief impacts everyone differently, that the effects can contribute disconnects or routines of the regular journey walk that can be deemed negatively. I genuinely want to know how there can be positive aspects. I am grieving loss that happened from 3 years ago to even 25 years. Counseling has helped. Please share how I can embrace the positive. And so in the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about how Regina King lost her son. I believe she lost her son to suicide.
Okay.
And she made a very impactful statement. That was how he handled his pain. And you got to be real truthful and honest with yourself, because we often feel like, what could I have done differently? What could I have said differently? What can I have done? What can I have given? What if I was available? Whatever. We take ourselves on a guilt journey.
And in reality, you could have done nothing.
Correct. That she said very emphatically, that was the way he chose to deal with his pain. So profound, right? But she also said that grief is nothing but love that has no place to go. And so I don't know if you were on here, Teresa, when we had this conversation. And so what I said is how you can embrace positive or how you can change it to positive. So the grief that you're feeling, I too am sharing in a loss from 3 years ago. On March the 6th, it was 3 years. And this year, I have to admit this year, it wasn't as bad as it had been the 2 years. And this is before I heard her statement, but I honestly, in my own self, I've learned to repurpose the love. And so instead of collecting the love on me, knowing that I cannot do anything about it, I cannot call him, I cannot pick up the phone, I could go visit a tombstone, but is it really going to love me back? You know what I mean? I could watch videos and I could look at pictures and I could do all of those things. But the reality of it is, the more that I dwell in that space, I'm still cultivating a love with no place to go, which is the impact of grief, right? It causes me to be paralyzed in my home. It causes me to be stifled in my relationships. I don't want to get close with nobody else because you're going to die. Everybody die. Like grief causes me to be in those places, to be closed off and to feel like I don't want no new friendships, no new relationships, nothing.
I've heard because somebody I don't say that. I've actually heard somebody. I heard a lady say, "I don't want a relationship." I said, "What's the problem?" Because everybody I get with, they die. See, those are the exact words she said.
But that's
I was like, wow.
But it's real though. It's really real. And the truth is, these are triggers. I don't know why this conversation is going that way, but these are triggers. Right. And what happens is triggers. We go with three things: fight, flight, or fright. I'm either going to fight it, I'm going to run for it, I'm going to be afraid, terrified, I'm frozen. And so grief does a lot of things to us, but in order for you to deal with certain things, you have to get to the root of it. And the root of it is the love that you felt for this person in human form that is no longer in human form. You no longer can hear their voice. You no longer can hug them. You no longer could share your secrets with them, and they share this. Like it's the yearning of wanting to be close to them, and they have now moved to another dimension in wherever they are. Facts. And so you have to learn how to repurpose or redirect that love. That does not mean that you don't love them. He said he has something yearly in his son's honor. The young lady on the phone said that they have something yearly in her husband's honor. That is repurposing. Right. That is redirecting the love. So it is no longer sitting on you as a heaviness. Right. It's no longer sitting on you as handcuffs, chaining you to the house, chaining you to the room, chaining you to all these ill thoughts. But it allows you to find a new reason to love. It allows you to take that love and do something else with it. Come on, man. And that is how you embrace the positive. You are welcome.
Much love. Much love. Jay broke that down, man. I really felt that. I got that. I received that. Yeah, if you receive that, who have been gone through it, please put a 1 in the chat. Yeah, I definitely received that. Yeah.
That changed me today. The other day, that really hit me real hard. Like, you know what? That's real. Like that's, and subconsciously I had already done it. I didn't know that there was a reason for it. I'm trying to find a guilt.
Right.
Like I'm trying to find like, wait, I'm supposed to be crying or something. Like I'm supposed to be, I'm not supposed to be laughing and joking. I'm supposed to be, and I was looking at pictures and it wasn't in me to be crying. And I was looking, like I had braced myself. This day is coming and I know what this day means. And the day came and it was just like, now did I have moments? Sure I did. But the way it used to impact my whole entire day for a few days, that's a thing of the past because I've repurposed it. I found a new purpose for it. So now I'm like, B, you
placed it somewhere else.
You looking down on me like did you talk to God and y'all help get that? Thank you. And I'm gonna keep it moving, you know. But it's because what would they want you to do? How would they want you to live?
I always say
would they want you to be like mad and sad and frustrated and like what would they want? Because if this is about them and your grief is about them, right? And your grief is your journey of how to overcome them and their life, whatever their purpose was for here on earth, they've served it. Believe that. So you're still here because why? Your time is not, you still got stuff to do. So what would they want you to do? Would they want you to be locked up and cooped up in the house?
No.
You can't talk to nobody because I don't want nobody. You got to find something else to do with that love, y'all. Like, you got to find something else to do. Create something. I don't care if you pick up a hobby and pour all of your love into that and it goes from being a hobby to a business. Y'all don't even know, like, grief can push you into a direction and a dimension that you never even thought about because you thought about your loved one and what they would want me to do. What would their life be? What could I do that would honor their life? How am I going, instead of me trying to carry all the burden, how do I keep their legacy alive? Like, what can I do that they could look back on or that somebody could remember? Like, what am I going to do? But sitting in a space where this love piles on, the woman said, like a building collapsed. And that is exactly what it's like. You have all of this love. And you don't want to give it to nobody else because you scared of your heart being broke that's already broke.
That's been broke.
It's already broke.
You know, it's funny you said, find something else to do with that love. Do you know I went to work the next day?
Listen.
Because it wasn't, I stayed home for a few hours.
Right.
And I wasn't going to go to work.
Because life don't stop.
Exactly. And I said what you said. What would my son want me to do?
Right.
This particular day, my son would probably been in the barbershop himself.
See?
You know what I mean?
See?
So I said, you know what? And I felt better talking to people. I was conversating. People was like showing me love. I was sharing with them how I felt.
Yeah.
Just sitting in the house by myself, that was driving me crazy. It was making me angry. I was mad. I wanted to hurt something. So I said, I got to get the fuck out this house, man.
And for the record, just because you're not in the space of where you can just get up and go on does not mean that you're not strong. I really want y'all to dissolve that feeling, that definition of strength, that because you're crying and because it's not as easy for you to get up again, it affects us all in different ways, right? But getting up is a decision. You intentionally choose to get up, just like you intentionally choose to sit in a state of sadness. And not from this perspective of, oh, woe is me. And because I have battled depression, I know that it is not as easy as just get up and get in the shower. It don't really work like that. It does take a little bit more than that. So I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about from the perspective of grief. And the impact that it has, because sometimes you can receive news of death and it really will send you into a tailspin. If you're not grounded in yourself, it really will throw you for a loop. And I want you to be gracious with yourself. I want you to be patient with yourself. I want you to be gentle with yourself, because there's no right or wrong way.
Right.
But after you have your moment, don't make it a mountain.
Come on.
Don't make it a mountain.
Right. Is it normal for people to actually feel guilt, as we talked about? What could I have done?
Yeah.
That's one of the major.
That's part of the stages.
Yeah.
One of the five stages of grief. Guilt
Right.
is absolutely one of them.
Right.
What if
That's
I
major.
had said that, and I think it's more prevalent in suicide than probably anything else, but what could I have done differently? What if I was there for them when they called me? What if I was a little bit kinder? Or what if I was this and what if I was that? But guilt is a part of the process of grief. There are 5 stages, I think: denial, guilt,
It's a few.
denial, guilt. It's 5 of them.
Right,
I can't
right,
say all 5 of them right now off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
but it's definitely a
But
process.
if you don't go through all 5 of them, don't create.
Don't create none.
You know what I mean? Like
Don't
I
create
said,
none.
I was trying to create a space of guilt for myself. Like, girl, why is you like?
Wow.
Don't you know you should be sad? But it was no sadness in me, because I've repurposed that love. You know, I'm not. You know, like life does go on, and it's gonna go on with you or without you. And meanwhile, you're watching everybody else live their life. The same people that you watch cry over the casket, the same people that came to your house, the same people that brought food, sent
Real
flowers,
talk.
all of that. Life goes on, and you looking at them mad,
Pissed.
off. Because
That's deep.
they're
That's
going
deep.
on, they doing things,
That's
they
deep.
having fun, they done found new love.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah,
They
that's
done
deep.
found somebody new,
Yeah.
and can we have this conversation? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be about the death of a loved one, but it could be the death of a friendship. It could be the ending of a relationship. It's real. Grief is a thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just happen in natural death, but it happens when friendships end. It happens when relationships end. It happens when you leave jobs that you've been at forever. Grief is a process, and if you are not careful, it will consume you. So you have to find a way to repurpose, even in some instances, reinvent yourselves, right? Because it's an opportunity for you to come back bigger and better than you were before it happened. And so just be gentle with yourself, be honest with yourself, and find somebody to talk to. There's nothing wrong with that. Get some help. Get some help. Let somebody help you go through this process. Because if your thoughts are not good thoughts, you're not the person to talk to.
Come on. Teach.
If all you're feeling is sadness,
And that's
you
it?
don't need to be talking to yourself.
Facts.
Because you can't pull yourself out of this place.
Woo!
And if the people that you are surrounding yourself with are okay with you being
that
sad,
way?
those
Yeah.
are not the
They're
people
not
for you
your
to
friends.
talk to. You
They're
need to
not
talk
your
to people
family.
that will say, listen, this is not the end for you.
Right.
This is just the ending of this
Situation,
chapter. You
right.
need to turn the page. Let me hand you a pen and get to writing.
Come on.
But it is so important that you find you somebody that you can talk to. And again, if the people you are surrounded with or by are feeling the same exact way as you, those are not the people that need to help you get out of this place. That probably needs to be a part of your grieving process too, for you to get some new. I'm just saying.
Look,
I'm saying, but I ain't saying.
I know a person who actually lost someone, a wife, right? And like, I don't know, a few years later, they remarried. But people will look at that like, hold up, how you marrying somebody else and you just lost your...
Ain't your business.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna be honest. This is a family member. You know what I mean? So, as you said, the other people around, other family members on her side, possibly on my side, looking at him like, hold up. They still angry. They still grieving. They still upset. They frustrated. They mad. But not knowing that this man actually had conversations with his wife on the deathbed. She told him, don't wait for me. Do what you need to do. Move on. They had deep conversations for a while, they knowing this is going to happen. This is not going to, is she not coming back? She's not going to get well. That's not going to happen. They had a conversation straight up. Cried, deep, all that, got that all the way for weeks, months, whatever the case may be. This is what I need you to do, honey.
Mate died, you're supposed to be alone for the rest of your life. Y'all got to stop it. That's foolishness. If that's what you choose to do, then God bless you.
Right.
But there are some people that want to be loved and want love and deserve love and need love.
Right.
And so if their partner has gone on, whether they got permission or not, what if you in the ground, what
I saw a picture. What I saw a picture. I saw a picture, and most of you probably seen it as well. The picture was a person in the ground. It was like a cartoonish looking picture, but it looked at, real, like what they call that? With the not cartoon, but
caricature.
What's that? Animated, animation. Yeah, okay. It was real nice though. Person in the ground, you can see through the ground, you can see the grass, you can see the dirt, you can see the levels, and there was a person on top of the casket or the dirt with their head sticking in the ground, literally. It was a deep photo, man. Deep. I was like, wow. So we bury ourselves sometime with the dead.
We do. We lose this part of us that they take with them.
Wow.
I remember when my husband died. And I remember going to the funeral home to view him and saying, I only came here because you can't go in the ground with self-esteem.
Say that one more time. Your voice went away.
You cannot go in the ground with my self-esteem. You cannot have my self-worth. You cannot. I came here to get it back.
Woo!
Because a lot of the time when you're in certain situations, you give up so much of yourself and you lose yourself in said relationship. And so then the relationship is over. And in this instance, he died. But the power for me was going there and saying, I'm taking this back. I need all of this back. And while it probably wasn't real to anybody else, it was very real to me. Yeah. In my mental process, there were things that he took from me in our relationship. The only place I could get it back from was in death. Woo. And after I got it back, I was free. Yeah. Free from what I had to become in order to survive in this particular situation. Gotcha. Now I got it back. It's not that I wanted it. It's not that I needed it, because at that point I had to do the work to reinvent it and recreate it anyway, because the person I was then is not the person that I was going to be, nor is it the person that I am now. Wow. However, if I allowed him to be buried with those things, there is a part of me that never would have been able to move on, because I'm still trying to live up to the standards that somebody in the grave done made for me.
Woo! Damn, that's deep. That was. I'm trying to. That was a lot to unfold. That's a lot to unfold. That was heavy right there. That was heavy, man. If you have something to say regarding this topic that can possibly help someone else, help me, you know what I mean, or help anybody else, please feel free to make the phone call right here, 973-433-5666, and, give you a scenario, give you a perspective, your experience of what you went through, and we really appreciate it. You know what I mean? What you say? Jaquetta said, "Blessed Sunday and good evening to everyone." Okay, that was a while ago.
She also said another way I was able to deal with my grief was what me and him went through while he was sick, what his sickness was, and I put all these things we were going through. I say this to say this: me, and my 4 children sat around the table and discussed everything. I never left my children out of nothing, because that was my backbone and my everything and my help. They helped me with my decision, making sure we know where he's at and why he is and why he isn't with us any longer. Wow. Yeah, I mean, communication is key when kids are involved. I know that sometimes we don't want to share things with our children because we don't want them to be burdened, but kids are more aware than you think they are, and kids are more resilient than you give them credit for. it's the purity and the honesty of them. That is their nature. It's not until they get older that they get corrupted, but they're pure and they're honest. And if you are honest with them, then it's nothing that y'all can't overcome together. You just got to be honest, right, about this thing here, this heart thing. And we're so protective of it that most of the time we're not honest.
Real talk.
I can't share my heart with you because that's the one thing that you will do that will break me, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to recover. So we're like this.
Right, covering it up. That's right.
We're like this, and we're dishonest about what we're feeling. We're dishonest about how things make us feel. So it puts us in a different place because now we're resentful. We pretending to be something that we're not while we're processing or not processing things that we need to be processing so that we can be fruitful human beings.
Woo! Wow. What you say, Teresa? Teresa said, okay, thank you, Jay. That spoke volumes.
You're welcome.
Jaquetta, where he is at, where he is.
That.
Oh, you did that, right?
Yeah, I did
and
that.
Aunt Charlene, Auntie, what's good? What'd you think for chiming in? Auntie said, we all need to be grounded in Jesus. He will help you. I've been there, done that, but until I found Jesus. All right. Don't mess with Auntie Jesus now.
Listen, I'm with her.
Right. I know that's right.
It.
That's right. Okay, what Kim say? Speak, girl, speak. Yeah, she over here doing it. You understand me? You read the other one too? Another way I was able to deal with grief? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about, what's his name? Bougie?
No, I didn't.
I recently lost my mother February 1st and I am lost. Reality has not really set in. Reality hasn't set in for me. I ache for her and I have not even begun to grieve. And honestly, I don't know how. I have been going to therapy, praying that it helps as I attempt to process that my life will never be as I knew it. It's a struggle that no one can understand because it's mine. I am learning to give myself grace when I am in a shutdown mode. That's important. I just wish others were more patient and understanding. Kim said, you're on point, Jay. Talk to me. That's right. What'd you say? Aunt Charlene says, God will send you a comforter. He will never leave you or forsake you. That's right. What you say, Daniel? You didn't read that one yet, right? No. Daniel, death for me was a sense of relief when my mommy died. The pain she went through, the pain. Exactly. Yeah, pain continued. I went through her pain, stopped. My pain continued as my life continued. It's a different type of pain when you watch a loved one die every day. It sticks to you longer, but it get better every day. Knowing I got to do better as a man, as a father, as a husband, as a grandfather, to live, to lives I influence, my love is still here. God is tremendous. Thank you for that, brother. Much love. Thank you for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Teresa says, condolence to prayers, God's grace, the mercies of all. May the memories hug your heart just as you need it, when you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much love, man. Much love. Did you read Teresa's The Emotional Process of Grief?
I don't see that.
Oh, their emotional process of grief impacts everyone differently. You ever read that one?
No.
Oh, okay. The emotional process of grief affects everyone differently. That the effects can contribute disconnects of routines of the regular journey. The routines of the regular journey. You didn't read that one, okay? Walk that can be deemed negatively. I generally want to know how there can be positive aspects. I am grieving loss that happened 3 years ago to 25 years. To even 25 years. 3 years ago to 25 years, okay? Counseling has helped. Please share how I can embrace. Oh, you spoke to that.
Did, yeah.
All right, cool. We really appreciate you guys for chiming in. If you can do me the favor for those who are here now, do me the favor and just like the page. Please share the page because it definitely can help someone else. As the young lady said in the comment, Jay spoke volumes on a lot of different things. And I really appreciate this young lady for coming in with that wisdom she just spit. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Y'all do me a favor and wish David a happy birthday. He spent his birthday with y'all.
Word.
On
Much love.
Facebook
Much
Live
love.
on how to cope with death. And wow, I do get it. Right, because it's a big part of something that he's developing in his life. It is his birthday, so do me a favor, share some love, shout him out, wish him a happy birthday, share his video,
I appreciate that.
Tag some people, invite some people that you know that are dealing with grief and death and might need this kind of conversation. This conversation may open the door for another conversation and another conversation and another conversation. You just never know. So do me a favor, would you, and share this and share the love and invite somebody, tag somebody, so that in the days to come, people can still get what they need. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I love you so much.
No doubt. And if you ever want us to do a part 2, we can, because I think there's some things, other things we need to touch on, but maybe, we can probably do a part 2. You know what I mean? But like I said, we're about to leave. So if you want to have something to say now, say it now or what? Forever.
You don't gotta forever hold your peace. Just put it in the comments. We'll get back to you.
We'll see it. Yeah, but if you want to call and you want to express it, you can do that real quick. I give you like 1 minute. If you want to call, the phone number is right there, 973-433-5666, and we will be out if you don't have anything to call in to speak on.
Thank you both. Very difficult topic to discuss.
Yeah,
and I feel a sense of relief that I was able to express myself without regrets. Amen for that.
Yeah.
No regrets. Leave your regrets here.
Word.
Leave your regrets here. No regrets. They're wishing you a happy birthday. So I don't think it's no calls. They wishing you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Someone else calling in right now. Kim, what's good?
Kim Doghouse.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
I know I only have a minute. I just want to thank you both. This was very, I found it therapeutic. I was able to see that I'm not alone with what I'm going through. May not be the same thing, but I was able to open up and express myself without, regrets or being judged. And I definitely think there should be a part 2 to this conversation, because I think there's a lot more people that will be able to discuss what they're feeling in a comfortable setting like it was today. Because a lot of people don't like to open up because they think that it's like a broken record, or they, getting on people's nerves discussing it, like keep repeating themselves and things like that. But thank you both. I feel like, this can be something to me, like support group meeting to me too. But thank you, and I appreciate everything. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And we thank you for being transparent, coming in. Thank you. You, much love and respect to you. We thank you because you, just as much as you think we've helped you, as far as this show helping you, you've helped us as well. Yeah. Much love. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Address Bougie. I think you read it, and I must not have been paying attention. But you said you recently lost your mom on February the 1st. So first of all, I'm adding you to my prayers. I don't know what it is to lose a mom, and I want to be very clear about that. And everybody's process is different. And I've noticed that you said you haven't begun to grieve because you don't know how.
Wow.
And that you've been going to therapy and you've been praying. And you're attempting to process that your life will never be the same. Let me tell you something. That is the biggest part. Because a lot of us try to go back to life as usual before it happened. And you cannot. You cannot, because you're so different now, because you lost something that was so vital to you. But please be gentle with yourself.
First, yeah.
And when you get into the place of shutdown, I want you to do something for me. I want you to play like gospel music. I want you to play like something that is edifying to your spirit, because regardless of how low you are, it is always going to act like a cushion that will prevent you from hitting rock bottom. It is not a quick fix, but it definitely will hold you steady in those seasons of suspense, right? In those seasons of uncertainty. I always tell people that you never go to the garbage can to look for a piece of bread, right? You never go in the garbage can and look for a piece of this or a piece of that, because the fragments that you find there will never, ever, ever complete a whole. And where you are right now is probably fragmented because your foundation has been shaken underneath you. The reality of it is who you were pre-mom passing is not who you are today. And before any of us can embrace you, you have to first embrace that. That whoever this is that's getting ready to emerge from this beautiful cocoon, and I know it doesn't feel like that right now. I saw that you said you are lost. Look into the sky and find a star. That's your mom. She'll guide you. I promise you she will if you let her. But in that, you get to reinvent who you are. Repurpose the love that you are holding so dear for your mom. That does not mean that you don't miss her. That does not mean that you don't love her. But you are finding something to give that love to. And it might take you a while to do that, a little bit here and a little bit there, a little bit here and a little bit there. But just be gentle with yourself. And to look for other people to understand they're not. They can't. Even if they tell you they do, it's a lie. They don't.
Come on.
They do not.
Yeah. Facts.
I only understand your loss, the fact that you lost someone. I only understand the pain of losing someone. I only understand the pain, the ache that's in my heart, in the space where your mother held. There's a pain there now. There's a space there now that you now have to fill it with something.
Yeah.
And it's already filled with love, but it doesn't have any place to go. And that is why the grief is so heavy on you. You have to find something to repurpose that love. In the meantime, write her some letters.
Right.
Write her some poetry. Express the love. Whether you think she can hear you or not, express the love. You got to release it in order for you to be able to repurpose it.
Facts.
I love y'all so much. I just didn't want to not acknowledge you. And I'm sending up sincere prayers for you and your entire family. Thank you so much for your courage, and thank you so much for your strength. Keep being strong and keep holding on.
Somebody wanted to make a call. They said, can they call in? The number is on the screen. We're going to take one more call real quick. We appreciate you. That was a great analogy, Jay. Now, let me say this about Jay. I called Jay the other day. I told her what I wanted to do, the type of show. Well, we supposed to have basically did this a few weeks ago, actually.
Last week.
Yeah, last week or so, yeah. And something happened, a whole bunch of other stuff happened, or whatever the case may be. Didn't get to it, so I called her on it to do it today. But I called her a few days ago. But when I called her, the first thing I said to her is, hold up. I went on Facebook to get a little spirituality.
Come on. You do that today. Come on.
Look, I said, look, I've been on your page for a few times looking for your words and your wisdom that you be dropping. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I go through it, and in the morning I be looking for anything to motivate me. I'll do motivational speaking, all types of stuff. And this particular day, I went on. Let me go to J page. Boom. Cause I know she coming on at 8 o'clock. So while I'm getting myself together, I can get a little piece of something while I'm moving around. I have it blasting in the room, whatever. You know what I mean? And sure enough, I go on. I ain't see nothing. Another day, I ain't see nothing. Another day, I ain't see nothing. I'm like, hold up. I called her. I said, Jay, what's going on? I ain't see you on the page. I thought maybe you blocked me or something. Maybe you blocked me, hid from me. I'm like, hold on. And she said, no, I wouldn't do that, bro. I wouldn't do that.
Listen,
I'm like,
life is life, man.
No
and sometimes, the encourager needs encouragement.
Yeah,
if I'm pouring
facts.
from my pitcher
Facts.
and I pour out of my pitcher, at some point it has to be replenished. I cannot pour from an empty cup, right? I can't pour from an empty pitcher. And so I just took some time to regroup. It's so funny because I have not been able to forget this conversation. He called me the other day. He checked me. He didn't know he checked me, but he was checking me real hard about, you supposed to be live. And in all honesty, there have been people that have been reaching out to me, but they really weren't saying what he said. And so since the conversation, I've been like, okay, I actually made up in my mind in the morning that I was going to go live. It won't be at 8 o'clock because I'll already be at work, but I will go live and do something tomorrow morning. I had already made up in my mind. I didn't think he was going to put me on the spot like that tonight, right? And I didn't even circle back with him and say, you know what? Because of your conversation, I didn't. But the Lord convicted me in his conversation. Like I looked yesterday and I looked the day before that. And I looked the day before that, Jay, what's up? And I really didn't have an answer other than I just didn't.
Right. But you know what?
I'm going to get my life together.
This is why she had mentioned something about sometime a person, a strong person that's always pouring into others, they need to be poured into as well. You can't give anything from an empty cup. So this is why it's important to check on your people that got love for you, that you have love for. This is why it's important to say, hey, what's going on? How you been? You know what I mean? And it's not always just a text. Call. I mean, we got Facebook.
Hear their voice.
Yeah, we got FaceTime.
Because sometimes a text will trick you.
Right. That's facts.
A text will trick you. You all right, yup.
Real
it
talk.
Could be boiled up in a corner in the dark.
Real talk.
On the verge of,
Yeah, man.
Sometimes you need to pick up the phone and hear the voice.
Right.
And because in hearing the voice, I know if you're okay or not. If I know you enough.
Right.
If I care about you enough. If I'm watching you enough and I pick up, I can hear if you're okay or not. Check on your strong friends, man, for real.
Real talk. That's facts. Much love. Part 2 coming soon.
Okay.
All right. Much love. Thank you for chiming in. Do me the favor once again for those who just chiming in. Please press like and press share. We thank you so much. D.A.P. Much love and respect to all of you. Thank you once again for tuning in. Once again, please do me the favor. Go ahead and like, press, follow. YouTube, you go over there and press subscribe. I appreciate you. Much love and respect. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, this is D.A.P.
D.A.P. D-Man's Podcast.